Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be looking at building your own first AI agent in the Microsoft Azure AI Foundry. When I first started exploring Microsoft Foundry, I spent a good amount of time figuring out where to even click, create and to create an agent. The documentation is very good, but it's kind of spread across the classic portal and the new portal, so it wasn't always clear which one applied to me. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to create your first prompt in agent in and how to create the agent first step by step in Microsoft Foundry portal. And there is no coding required. So by the end of this video, you will have a working agent that you can chat with. And so yeah, let's get right into it. Here's what we are going to build in today's episode. A simple geography assistant. It always answers the question about geography, and it runs entirely inside on the Foundry portal. And the reason I'm starting with something simple is intentional, so that users can follow along. And before we add complexity like multiple tools or custom interaction or multi-turn flows, you want to understand the basic life cycle. So how you define an agent, how to attach a tool, and how to test it, how to read the trace, and so on. So we'll go through those steps. And before we create an agent, let's make sure the environment is set up. So make sure you have logged into your Azure account and by going into ai.azure.com and the Foundry, and you make sure you have project created. So we'll start from there. So this is what the Foundry portal looks like. I also showed it in my previous video, but I'll now walk you through. So this is the Foundry Azure portal. I have already created my agent, my project, and there are agent deployment services, tools, knowledge, guardrails, which we'll all explore in coming videos. But first, to start with an agent, I will call this as a start creating an agent, which is geography agent, and then create an open playground. So it's that simple. Once you enter the name, your agent is created, and you can also host it on Foundry. So I'll show you this. You can read the documentation, what are hosted agents. When you build agentic application by using open source framework, you typically manage across cross-cutting concern, and then you can read this entire documentation, which I also followed through. Uh, but yeah, our agent is created, and this is the geography agent that we just created. So the right now I'll remove the web search tool, and we are going to give it a nice prompt, which is you are a helpful agent who answers questions about, actually let me call it AI assistant or geography. And then I can also optimize this. So this is the original instruction, and then you can optimize it. So you can optimize the instructions of this agent. So let's see what it does. And this is taking a moment. So best practices for the using the with OpenAI algorithm, and it applies the best proven practices. So I'm just going to use the prompt. It didn't work this time, but yeah, I want to save my agent. So I will save it. Before I publish it, I also want to test the playground. So I'm just going to chat with the agent, say hi, and it is going to respond, how can I help you? if you have got geography question, countries, I can ask right away. So let's do that. Can you tell me the weather today? So I asked it a simple question. I intentionally kept it vague. I did not tell it the location, but I'm glad it's asking. So tell me your city. So I tell it San Francisco. So it doesn't have the live data, but here is what today typically looks like. So notice that even though I haven't added the web search tool, it was able to pull up the weather location, which is pretty nice. And then it also tells me the marine layer, uh, wind. Now let me add the tools. So you can add the tool from here. So it will, let's go with the Bing search. And we can also add the knowledge. So we can connect to Foundry IQ if you have a connection already. Don't want to do that. We also have the memory, so we can browse through all the memory stores. I don't have anything right now because I just created this agent and I don't have anything in this new project. And then we can also manage the guardrail. So we can create a guardrail. Do you want to save your agent? Yes. So it takes me to another place where I can add a guardrail, but I don't want to do that right now. Let's go back to our geography agent. So Uh, talking about tools, we can add the popular tools from here. We can even do the file search and code interpreter, which we'll look at in later videos. So you can select a tool, AI search, Work IQ, Fabric, SharePoint, Fabric data, and then there is a full catalog that's available over here. You can also search through it, like Elasticsearch. If you have that, it has a remote MCP. You can use Cosmos DB. You can use maybe, let's see if it has Redis. It does has a managed Redis from Azure. We can also have our custom MCP and A2A agent, which is another agent, which is pretty nice. It is pretty nicely developed portal. As you can see, you can also ask questions over here, ask an AI, and then all right, so let's ask it another question. Uh, Tell me weather for SF. Yes. So it's using the GPT-5 model, and I can also use another model. I don't need a super advanced model for my task. Uh, so let's see. If we look at the YAML, it shows me the description of this agent, the call agent, so you can connect to your project endpoint. You can have your agent name. You can call this agent using Python, which we will do in later videos, and then uh, always forget to save. But yeah, but the details show that the agent is running. You have identity access, which is Entra agent ID, blueprint, which is all useful when you are setting this up. You can also set up the A2A protocol. Uh, so, and then traces. This is the most important part and most interesting part. So let's go back to it. So traces, we will, uh, yeah, let's chat with an agent again. Why I did not save my chat history. Let's see. So hi, tell me, tell me whether, let's not ask it whether, but tell me in what country did uh, green onions originate and its weather uh, right now and what time it is over there. right now. So it's a three-part question in one question. So modern day Iran, Western China, Pakistan, and then Central Asia, and it also gives me references. Okay, so yeah, quick evaluation matrix. Let's see the traces of this. Uh, so we will look at the trace in more detail in the later video, but this is what it looks like. You can see the tool execution, you can see the chat, you can see the user view. So when I ask the question, what was it, and all these other details which you will look at in the later videos. And then uh, and you can see the agent details. You can have monitoring over here. You can have overview, the tool it has access to, and then all the observability over here, which will go in more detail in the later videos. And then evaluation. So automatic evaluation, you can create that. You can have human evaluation. You can have the red team. So it's a pretty well developed portal. So let's go to all these things I've already shown you, so I'm skipping the slides. And then I have also put the screenshot of multiple conversations that I had for the trace. This is what it looks like. And yeah, so let's quickly recap what we built today. You have uh, a prompt agent, and that's the complete life cycle of the Foundry agent. So once you understand that flow, you can reason about an agent regardless of the complex orchestration gets. And we'll go deeper into tracing, OpenTelemetry, and what it actually captures in the later videos. So that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for connecting with me. And you can find my articles on Medium, Dev2, and DZone. I've also created a trace inspector for Visual Studio Code. Please take a look at it. I'll put the link in the description. And do subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.